Aside from a training arc and a defined power system, you could say the most used trope in shonen anime is a flashy transformation or final form. I mean, if you go through the years, particularly from the late 90s to the early 2010s, damn near every battle shonen used this trope. But as times have shifted, we don't really get that anymore. Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, these are arguably the most popular battle shonen in the modern day, and none of them use the transformation trope at all. You could almost say that this trope has been abandoned for the most part, and that's kind of disappointing, because growing up, Sage Mode, Tensa Zangetsu, Gear 4, yeah, you just had to be there. And I know Denji and Eren transform all the time, so you're probably like, what's the difference? But those transformations are more of like tools. The previous transformations I highlighted, those were events. Those were turning points, particularly moments where the narrative stopped to let you feel everything that's going on, to let you absorb the magnitude of the transformation. Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time wasn't just another power-up. Naruto's Sage Mode wasn't just a buff, and Ichigo's Bankai wasn't just a cool flashy sword mode. Don't get me wrong, I might be a nostalgia merchant, but as someone that covers Gachiakuta weekly, I ain't gonna lie, it really made me happy when it was hinted in the story that we might get a transformation for Rudo. So let's break everything down about this transformation. Rudo's new form is essentially a Gear 5 or Super Saiyan moment in the context of the story, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. But before we do that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, let's get right to it. I like to start with the narrative and emotional build-up involving this transformation. And the first thing I noticed involving this transformation is the fact that there really is no direct emotional build-up involving Rudo and another main character with this transformation. This is not a Frieza killing my best friend or stopping the Soul Society from executing my best friend type of vibe. Instead, it's along the lines of a gun and kite type beat. The main character met another character who in a short period of time was really able to have a profound effect on our main character. For Rudo, his kite is Gantes. There are some key differences between Gon and Kite's relationship and Rudo and Gantes' relationship though. If you're still watching this video, I'd like to do an intermission real quick and say I recently posted the Chainsaw Man vs Gachiakuta video. It's a really dope, amazing, great video. If you love Gachiakuta content, you should definitely check it out after watching this video because you'll enjoy it. So yep, check it out, it'll be greatly appreciated. The main thing being that Gantes is not a mentor to Rudo. As a matter of fact, there's no growing up and bonding moments between these two at all. Instead, Gantes is someone who came to Rudo and begged him to help him fulfill his revenge against Maimo. And this is really where all the narrative and emotional build-up is focused on. The tragedy of Gantes' life and the exploited persona of Maimo. It's through Gantes' backstory that you're given the narrative of why you should care about his plea for revenge against Maimo in the first place. I want to point this out, this type of setup is not common at all. There's tons of sad backstories, like we've seen so many sad backstories in shonen. But I'm not really sure we've seen one where it's being used as the emotional anchor for the transformation of the main protagonist. The emotional anchor of a transformation, for the most part, is usually centered around the main protagonist's trauma or the trauma they have because of some sort of relationship with another major character. Here instead, everything is almost borrowed. Rudo doesn't really have anything emotionally tied to him. Instead, he's carrying the emotional weight and burden of another character. The jury is still out on whether this is a good or bad thing, but what I am certain of is that we've never really seen this before, and this is a very interesting angle to take regarding this sort of things, which makes me appreciate this. You juxtapose this with the fact that narrative-wise, Maimo is an amazing villain. Like, I need to realize this, the more we learn about Maimo, about his personality, his goals, his persona, he becomes more unforgiving and easy to root against, makes him an amazing villain. These two combinations, the emotional anchor being Gantes' plea, and on the narrative side, Maimo just being an amazing villain, all of this makes Gantes asking Rudo for revenge against Maimo feel completely justified and understandable. Everything is built and crafted in a way that works so fucking well. But for me, the thing I love so much narrative-wise about this transformation is Rudo's selfishness. Don't get me wrong, Rudo still definitely wants to help Gantus, but the fact that he's willing to push things to the extent that he becomes a werewolf god, even had Gantus be like, bruh, this guy ain't trying to help me for some sense of justice or anything like that. He's doing this shit because Maimo pissed him the fuck off, and now he wants to beat him up because Maimo made him mad. It's really funny for the most part because we know Rudo so well, so him having this type of behavior and just acting this way is really no surprise at all. But seeing this sort of thing from Gantz's perspective really adds another dynamic and angle to the whole transformation, like the narrative build up on it. It just makes it funny and kind of poetic to see, like, damn, like, Rudo, you go this far because you're this motivated. Overall, though, for this transformation, I think narrative-wise, Urana Sensei did a damn good job. Is it the best thing we've seen narrative-wise when it comes to transformation? No. There's obviously things that are better narrative-wise, like KCM1 and Gurm's transformation, but I would admit for this werewolf god transformation, there are some interesting angles taken narrative-wise that helps get us to the points that we get to, which made it feel fresh and unique. Now, let's switch things a bit and talk about the transformation visually wise and aesthetically wise, because you know that's the meat and potatoes. Is this shit cool looking, and are the powers of this shit dope? Like, we gotta talk about that. For me, this is a 10 out of 10 if I'm being for real. Like, who thinks of turning our main protagonist into a fucking werewolf as a transformation? Like, come on, bro, that is very, very unique. This is much more unique than turning your hair gold or making your clothes and hair white. Like, I'm just be for real. This is as unique as a transformation you're gonna get from a protagonist. I mean, look at this thing. It's a fucking werewolf. Like, where do you see this shit? You don't see this shit anywhere else. And the funny thing is that I'm not surprised when it comes to Rudo's abilities. Urana Sensei has proven time and time again that she's gonna push things and really stretch the creativity of what Rudo's abilities really could be. So when it came to giving Rudo a transformation, yeah, obviously she was gonna go batshit insane with the whole creative process and make it something we've not seen before, just like the Lucky Charm or the Mimic with the box. She does this, like this is her MO. She's a very creative author, and it's safe to say that she delivered. We haven't seen the powers of this transformation completely yet. It looks like it might incorporate some of the previous powers, so maybe the boots to help increase the speed and the coats to help cut and paste, but I don't think we've seen everything yet. But I don't think we've seen everything. We're gonna see more in the next chapter. I think the powers from this transformation is gonna be more along the lines of something like a Gear 5, something very unique and very creative, rather than something like a Super Saiyan, which is mostly just a power buff, if we're being for real. Like, no shade, but yeah, it's mostly just a power buff. It's nothing super creative or super unique. But yeah, what an amazing transformation. I'm gonna hold off on the symbolic meaning of this transformation a bit until after the fight with Maimo is done and we have more context. Aside from that though, I think this is an amazing transformation. Like I said, this is a dying art. You really don't see this in as much battle shonen as it was back in the past, and I really appreciate it. Gachiakuta really does a lot of great stuff, and this is just one of the things that it does amazing. And as someone that covers this story, I really appreciate it. If I had to rank this chapter, I think I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a good chapter, it's a great chapter, but not, you know, the most amazing chapter ever. I think chapter 143 and 156 are better than this. So yeah, I think I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. But what do y'all think about the chapter and the transformation in general? Did it live up to your expectations? Because it certainly did for me. That's all for me though. Love y'all boys. See you on the next one. Peace.